everybody, welcome back to my channel, to my last installment of my birth story. So this time I will take you back to April 19th, 2010, and that is when Dominic Albert Schultz was born. So like I said previously in my other videos, this is a collab with V Loves Collabs, and this one is hosted by Lindsay, so I will put all the links down below. So this birth story was kind of just all planned. I was having my tubes tied, and then I had already had a C-section with Wyatt, so I decided to have a C-section and have my tubes tied while I was already open. So pretty much that's just exactly what happened. We again had to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning, and just like my previous ones, I have a birth book here that I wrote throughout my pregnancy. We had to be there at 7. We got there at 7. We kind of, they set up the room. Me and my husband just kind of watched TV and waited for the doctors. We were kind of walking around taking pictures, and they came rushing into the room and was like, do you feel that? I was like, no. They're like, get into bed. You're having contractions, and we don't need you to go into labor, before we get you back there. So get in bed, let's go. So about 10:15, my book says they came and got us. We were in the middle of watching Supernatural. We got rolled back there. They kind of put me down, but at this point, nothing was scary because I already knew what to expect, and this wasn't an emergency. So everything was, slow and, calm, and, I was just being strapped down. Nothing was like, my arm being pushed here and nobody talking, and everybody was nice. I got my epidural or spinal block. And they pretty much, they put the blue sheet up, cut me open, took the baby out, had no distress, had no problems. Got my tubes tied, and that was kind of gross. We could smell it, and we could see the smoke coming up from the other side of the blue, but I got to be awake for the whole thing. This one was a little more painful after I had come out and, was in my room, and I still got the shakes. I was still really shaky, but I was in a lot of pain. I do remember the next day they hooked me up to a machine where I could just push a button. Or that might have been with Wyatt. Do you remember? I think it was with this one, and I got to push a button whenever I wanted. I think it was Demerol that they put in there. But because I had, my C-section and a tubal ligation, I was just in extreme pain. And then my mother-in-law had come from Vermont to stay with us, so I got to heal, but I didn't really heal. I had still an open spot on the, in my incision, so that kind of hindered me a lot for probably months. But other than that, let me take you down. I'll show you some pictures. So there's a belly shot. I think that was a couple months before I delivered. There's another belly shot. I didn't get as big with him as I did with my other babies, but he was tiny. He was 6'2", so he was very tiny. But he came out, and when they showed him to me and I looked at that face right there, I instantly saw myself. Here's me as a baby. I think we looked exactly alike as little babies. But that's him. You know, just fresh out. There's just a couple, some cute pictures in here of him after I had him. This one, my friend Amber had come up and taken some pictures for us. She's a photographer, so I love that picture. Look at those lips. And this boy had quite the double chin. This was, I think, right around 2 months old, and that is when it started. And he was exclusively breastfed up until probably 3 months, 4 months. He got teeth really early, so between the breast milk, because he breastfed until he was like right around 15 months, 18 months, he did not want to stop. There's a belly pic. So who likes me with dark hair? And it's short. It's kind of shorter there. This was his first doctor's appointment. See how tiny he was? He was just so tiny. But he was 6 days before my due date. Maybe 7 days. I believe my due date was either the 25th or the 26th. And he came on the 19th. But he was scheduled so that I could get my tubes tied with my C-section. So this one was just kind of, everything was scheduled. Everything was pretty much textbook again, with, you know, a C-section, having a C-section with a tubal ligation. I did it all at one time, and I thought that was best for me because I had 4 kids now. It's not like I could have went home and went back to the hospital to have the surgery. I just wanted it all done at one time while I was open, and then I could just heal one time. So that was pretty much my birth of all 4 of my kids. So I will put the link to all the other 3 videos that I just did down below, along with all the other links. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up for my series. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you on my next video. Bye!